all praise to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
the ones who cross the great millstone that goes well. Shalom to those Yahweh, the Yahweh, the blessed to see them faithfully, continue fighting the good fight of faith, Lord willing. They're all found in that moment to be delivered. So then we're going to come out and preach the word, flowing the will of Yahweh, and Yahushua. Alright, so again, we're going to go through this through the spirit. Brothers got articles, testimony, any brothers you got, we're going to just let it all out. Alright, so we're going to start with the article?
Yes.
Alright,
Last week we talked about this, the Silicon Valley banks. It's time to talk about
banks?
yeah. Now it's more banks that's getting shut down, and that's from the Newsweek.com. And the headline said this: more than 186 U.S. banks were positioned for collapse.
Listen, we understand what's going on here. This isn't just some, spooky thing that what's happening. This is what's called for. Esau has already counted the cost many years ago, leading up to these days where we're living in, where things are going to start to collapse. They have to collapse. There's no way they can introduce that new method of currency without getting rid of the old currency. So it has to be collapsed. We're not worried about that. We're not in fear of that. We welcome it. Why do we welcome it? Because we know we're that much closer to getting the hell out of here. Man. But behold, there's going to be some terrible times that are coming. Man.
He says the perfect mix of losses, uninsured leverage, and an extensive loan portfolio, among other factors, resulted in the fall of Silicon Valley banks. Comparing Silicon Valley Bank situation with other players, we feel that nearly 190 banks operating in the United States or are potentially at risk of a run.
They're all at risk, if we want to call it a risk. They're all at risk. Because again, you're settling on your knees because you're hearing these people who have mistaken some of these banks. When you start hitting home, then you're going to start realizing. Then you're going to seek out the prophets. And you want to ask questions. What's going on? Why is this happening? Right? We're going to continue to tell you until it implodes on itself. And Esau's going to make it implode on itself. You guys think that this government is for you. This government is not for you, man. This government is totally against you and everything you believe in. How is it that here, the United States of America is now talking about the banking system collapsing on itself? That should be unheard of. These other countries answer like this, they're like, that's impossible. How can that be? America's the so-called greatest country in the world. How can the greatest country in the world have beyond thin ice, if you will? It's all bullshit. It's all set up there. America's gonna fall by the sword at the end of the day. Right? And these things and these measures that are being taken right now are being taken for good reason. All right, go ahead.
This is our second.
Hey, if any brothers got anything, you want to speak up, yeah, let's fire it off. Come on.
This is our second Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown.
Right, you know what? Because listen, in 2008 when that small collapse happened, there was people going to the bank. I mean, it was total chaos, man. It was a mini chaotic situation. And now that it's happening on a grand scale, there's not going to be any understanding in a man when that time comes. Okay, so the sown places, what you see right now, is sown because you look around, people walking about, visiting different monuments and having a good time and enjoying the summer breeze, the winter breeze coming through. But when this place becomes unsown, you ain't gonna see a soul in these parts out here, man. Because people are gonna be out for blood when that time comes. Go ahead.
The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
You know, in those, and I'll say this, in this carnal world, those who are somewhat wise, they're already preparing, man. They've been stocking up on food. They've been stocking up on goods because they understand and they see and read between the lines that America's going down, man. There's going to be a big shift. There's going to be a big change within the next couple months. How you buy things, how you see things, how you perceive things, how you get things. Some people are going to get it by the fact that they're going to receive that MOTB. Some people are going to get it by taking somebody's life. All right? But at the end of the day, something's going to be obtained by somebody somewhere or another. See?
But Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15 See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Right, walking circumspectly, knowing what's going on around you at other times, which is imperative, man. It's imperative that you understand and know what you're getting into. And even just not even taking it from a standpoint of buying shit or obtaining goods, just where you're walking, just where you're going. Because niggas are gonna be lurking in the shadows out there, man. Right? But this is all part of prophecy. You see? This is part of prophecy. You know? And you got these guys out here, all these guys with all these different YouTube channels, and they're having a grand old time, on the backs of the brothers who are out on the highways and byways and teaching, and they're talking enough shit. But pretty soon your platform's gonna be gone. Right? And when your platform goes, then you have nothing. But we of the hopeful elect, we got Yahweh Shai to guide us and protect us and watch over us. So we're gonna come out as men of the Lord and give you exactly what you've been looking for. Go ahead.
I got you. 2 Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword of their destruction draweth nigh."
Right, nobody's gonna believe it until it comes to their front door, man. There was a movie called At Your Door. All hell was breaking loose and it was coming right to people's door, man. Even though you weren't a part of that section or whatever, but the trouble came right to your door because you couldn't leave your house. If you can't leave your house, that means the trouble's at your door. When somebody's on the other end of your door, knocking and banging like a fucking madman, you ain't opening the door. Likewise, when it comes time to leave out your house, what you gonna do? You gonna go to the window first, look out the window and see what's going on out there. Let you see a dead body in front of your driveway, in front of your door, your building. You gonna open that window. So these things are coming right to your doorstep and you don't even realize it, man. People have no idea what you're in for. Go ahead.
And one people shall stand up and fight against another,
Yep.
with swords in their hands.
Those race riots are on the horizon. Now the brothers was telling me about the males in Texas, Mississippi. I didn't catch the article yet, but I guess a man got decapitated, his head peeled off, body parts strewn all over the place. Again, these are some of the precursors that are going to eventually lead to the racial wars, the insurrection of people, right? The division of people. These things must needs be done. Because how else are you going to get the children of Israel started, if you will? How else are you going to rise them up, man? Let a few more black people get killed to the point where people are like, oh, fuck that, we're going after these white people. We're going after whomever they may feel they need to go after, man. So it's no surprise what's going on, man. We're not looking at these things. We read these articles and see these different news clippings and look at here what's happening. We're not surprised that they're saying, oh, wow, that's what's going to happen. These are the things that have to take place, man. These are the things that are going to rile the people up. What's going to rile people? You can't say, oh, yeah, let's say you want to practice making a record down in rap music. That's not going to rile people up. You got to get down to the meat and potatoes if you want to get some people stirred up, man. And how you do that? Start killing motherfuckers. When you start killing them, then people going to start, whoa, what's going on here? You see? Right, hold on, man. Go ahead.
Elderman, to back you up, when you read the comments, you have people bringing up the whole Emmett Till spirit
That's
once
right.
again, and they're saying that men with guns should go down to Mississippi and the whole town. Yeah.
I mean, once again, the carnal men are going to do such things. Don't think that you ain't going to have these things happening.
Right.
You'll have a whole bunch of niggas rising up, marching down in different locations with guns and having a gunfight. All right? But the wise and the Lord are going to let that be, man. We ain't going to get caught up as we always have been. We've always have been, on the backside of things, if you will. While all these people are protesting, marching, you got the men of the purple and gold group there. Every time a nigga gets shot, they rallying up and doing all this, and the mothers in the middle talking, my baby. You men aren't going to do anything that's going to change the outcome of what the Lord put in place, man. If a nigga get killed in the street, whether it be 18 or 28 or 38 or 48, whatever old he is, if he gets killed in the street, then that's what the purpose was, for him to be brought up in the world, to be raised up, to be killed in that street in that day. So this is the Lord's program. So we ain't gonna start crying tears over how many black people gets mowed down by the police. We ain't gonna cry tears when these black people get hung and lynched and dragged on the back of a goddamn Ford F-150 pickup truck down in Texas and Mississippi. This shit's been going on for years. What makes it any different now in this day and age? It ain't no different. You see? But you gotta be circumspect. You gotta know what's going on around you. You can't put yourself in a position where you're gonna sit there and these crackers surround you and shit on a daily basis. Get the hell out of Dodge, man. It don't, yo, listen, man. It don't make you any less of a man if you gotta flee. The Lord had to flee in some cases, man. Oh, shit. Get the hell out. Right. Get the hell out of Dodge, man. You see these crackers assembling with all kinds of Confederate flags? Yeah, nigga. Get the hell out of Dodge, all right? You know?
It's a such thing as a sun downtown. Too. I just finished watching a video that put up. This guy with Jake got his ass with one of them sun downtown. He's like, oh, we come to this place and be real. Yeah, that's been around since what's that? The 60s, late 60s. Since
You
they
want
were
to
that
this
place.
place? Talking about Black Lives Matter. That shit don't matter. That shit got niggas twisted up, man. That whole Black Lives Matter thing got niggas twisted up. You thinking you can walk around invincible? You know, with a BLM on your chest. That shit don't matter, man. Time is coming where there's gonna be bloodshed. It's gonna be the bloodshed of the children of Israel, because the scriptures speak about a time of Jacob's trouble. All right, let's go.
This is why it's important to know who your enemies are. I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about the analogy I used to use. You see, you're in a park, right? You'll see a group of squirrels together. You might see a group of pigeons together. You never see them congregate. It's the same thing. You can use the example. They're all animals. They should be together. There's different strokes for different worlds. And the same thing with people. We're a different nation than they are. Our nation does things differently than they do. And the whole integration mentality is what's doing people, man. You saying that your Black Life matters, it's not going to matter to your enemy. That's the last person your life matters to, is your enemy. Your life matters to the people that are of your stock. And that's what you should be worried about. You should be worried about your own people. Trying to say that you matter to someone who is your arch nemesis. It's like you look at Batman and Joker. They imagine they had kids and them two can't go together. Them two can't go together. He is our arch nemesis. When you watch that I think the movie is Broken. Glass, I think it's called. Glass. Samuel L. Jackson's character. We are exact opposites. We'll never join together. I am your nemesis. And it's true, man. They are our arch nemesis. They were created just to be our nemesis. We can't expect to matter to them. There are Genesis 25.
Yep.
Luke, the parable of Lazarus and rich man, he said he wants to break the whole thing. Go say that can't be passed. Yeah. Going into that. Yeah.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust our enemy, for like as iron wrestling, so is his wickedness.
That's right. And a lot of people put their trust in these devils, man. You put your trust in them. And on top of that, you're also putting your trust in our own people. Because our own people become our enemies, man. Those who are in groups and that are living by this system. You know? You got black people who are protesting the stance that we take. You got black people calling against what we believe in. You know? Again, the enemies from all angles. Enemies from all angles coming in at us. But we get into what we're talking about. Jacob and Esau, we've been fighting since the womb. We've been fighting since the womb. There's no other nation of people that have fought more vigorously towards one another than Jacob and Esau, man.
This is why Judas Maccabees fight so deep. It wasn't just about. It was about obviously the story makes it clear. It was about the Maccabees brothers disdain about people being so willing to go to the other nations and be a part of what they have. But just to think like the assimilation that they were doing most of. When you think about the Black Greeks, right? You have all these fraternities that they have in colleges. That came from Israelite people. Those people back there that were being called Greeks in those times, a lot of them were Israelites. And there was a lot of that was assimilated into what our enemies were doing, and their behavior, and being so proud about being a part of it. When you go in the Maccabees and you read that, those were Israelites that was making those gymnasiums. Esau, they was doing it in their own way. You had our own people making those gymnasiums to be a part of that lifestyle. It's always happened. It's always happened when you got people trying to assimilate with their enemy. You have to know who your enemy is. That's the word. That's the first. We are, as it says, behind enemy lines. We're behind enemy lines. You have to operate within it. We have to work. You have to pay our bills. And some people might, get your it's tax season, right? So you got to file for your taxes and all of those things. So we live within being behind these enemy lines. Esau is your enemy. He is not your friend. And just like that scripture that brother read, as soon as he has an opportunity to show that he's your enemy, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. There's no mistake in it. You can look at them, and like I had this one dude I used to work with at one job. I just talk just like that. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. You talk just like that, man. And you look at him, he's cool. And the reason why you're in front of him is honest. You don't have to guess about what he has going on. So you can look at him and see. There's other Edomites that he would pull aside and they be having their own conversation. You knew what they was talking about when they was off to the side. But those other Edomites were different, right? And you were waiting for the opportunity. You were waiting for the opportunity. You were waiting for the time. They were going to show their hands. Those are our enemies. You got something?
Yeah, First Maccabees.
Oh, yeah.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 25. Therefore there was a great mourning in Israel in every place where they were, so that the princes and the elders mourned, the virgins and the young men were feeble, and the beauty of the woman was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chambers was in heaviness.
Yeah, so it was a bad time our nation was in. The Lord, this was really I can't say the start. This is when the Lord turned his back on us and we were really down and out as a nation. The Greeks were coming in. Alexander had already done his damage, so to speak. He had taken over all the world, and he had passed on, obviously. But his 4 generals kept that going. And then we had this guy, Antiochus, which, if I'm not mistaken, came from the Seleucids. Yep. He perpetuated that thing to its extreme. Right? So we were in hell in these times. Our nation was in hell in these times. You think about so-called transatlantic slave trade, American slavery. This rivals that. Those times that we were under the Greeks, that rivals those times.
On top of that, when you read Maccabees, the 2nd chapter, it goes into the detail of how a lot of our people come from under that. Trying to just do as the king commanded, submit to him. Your life would have been made easy. If you didn't do this, he saw this Jake going to the altar to worship. He was filled with zeal, and he went up and slew him on the altar right there on the spot, man. Because our people at this time, when all hell starts breaking loose, they're going to have one solution: do exactly what Esau says, and that way you won't have that heaviness upon you, man. But when the Lord sets us up, we see niggas doing some shit like that. We gotta do, man.
It's a saying that they got here back in the Greek. Do as the Romans.
Yeah, when in Rome, do as Rome. Yeah. But we have examples of escape from that in Daniel. We have examples of escape from that in Joseph, right? Who said it? Esther, right? Mordecai, right? You have examples of how to behave yourself behind enemy lines. You don't have to assimilate to what they do in order to be successful. Because the real success comes from the whole bunch of us, right? Let's keep going.
Maccabees too.
First
Maccabees
Yeah, yeah. Those are all examples of how to behave yourself when you're behind enemy lines. When you're at your lowest, the best thing to do is to depend on the Heavenly Father. Don't go, assimilate to what the enemies is doing. This is where the old saying, death before dishonor. That's what you take, man. And the Maccabees brothers are perfect examples of that. We have the story of those 7 brothers in Second Maccabees. If the Lord permits, we'll get to that. But you take death before you take dishonor.
That was the spirit. That's why I brought it, because I was thinking about how even when the king was killing off all the sons, and he asked his mom, just tell your son to agree to be a friend. And he still died honorably.
Yeah, and what's impressive about that, right? When you think about a mother, when you think about a mother is she's always concerned about her child's well-being, and she raises the child in a way where if the child is out of her care, then he'll be okay. A child can make sure that he's going to be all right. And really, mothers, I read this book years ago when I was in high school, but it talked about how when the buck would get killed in slavery, the big, strong, so-called black men would get killed in slavery, mothers would see that and raise their sons to not be like the buck. So when you look at a story like those 7 brothers and their mother, telling them, no, you go and die manfully, that's a powerful story. Because mothers are the main ones that make their sons capitulate to what their enemy is doing. So that's a powerful story, man. Keep going, Salaki, brother.
This is back in first Maccabees 1:28. The land also was moved with the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judea.
This is what Esau does, right? We know this. When Esau goes in, and this brother Barnabas was telling us some history about Haiti. After he went in there and got a hold and a grasp on that rice, and they went down and out. They started getting poor. What did Esau do? He went down in there. Same thing that Antiochus did here. After 2 years expired, that's when all them Greeks started going in there. They started taking our land. They started taking our riches. Like when you think of the temple in that time, the temple was not only a place where you go and pray and sacrifice, but it was also the bank. Right? That's where a lot of the riches and gold and silver. That's right. So it was also the Bank of Israel. You can call it. Go ahead.
And if I may add, the book of Torah tells you how it was basically a bank for like the fatherless children and the widows as well. And he had gave his riches after he had died to it.
That's it. Keep on, bro.
After 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judea, who came unto Jerusalem with the great multitude. And they spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given them...
Esau recently went down to Haiti, talking about they was down there to give aid. No, they was down there to take. They speak peaceably. The scriptures tell us about that in Psalms. If somebody can go to, what's that, Psalms, is it 51?
55.
Yeah, we can get all of them. We got time.
You want that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 16. And man speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw me into a pit. My friend.
Next thing you know, he's in your backyard. Your backyard. You wake up in the morning, you saw those kids in cornflakes.
Psalm 55 and 21.
That's it.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
What was in his heart?
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn strong.
Right, so we know this about Esau. So when you hear this about what they did with the Greeks, of course they went in speaking peaceable words. Esau doesn't know any other way. Alexander was the first Edomite of his kind. Because Alexander was like, look, I'm trying to take over, and I'm going to do it by any means necessary. But when you have Edom, what they did was they went and they kind of worked their way through history, secretly, kind of make their way up, like Haman did, make his way up into the ranks, and then they take over, right? And so this is what the Edomites do, man. They go in there, hey, how's it going, sir? Hey, you all right? You need a couple dollars? Yeah, I can use a couple dollars. You get hungry. At first you say no. This nigga, right? At first, then you get a little hungry. You say, that's that $2 and you so then he got your ass, man. Go ahead, bro. Salak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Salak. You got something too?
Yeah, just to back you, Psalms 55 and 11. It says, wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from the streets. For if it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him.
See? So this is why it's important, especially today, where we're so far removed from biblical history. We're so far removed from our heritage. For so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people, so-called Native people here in the Americas to understand who our enemy is. Go ahead, bro.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed my wine,
Yep.
he is a proud man,
That's it.
neither keepeth at home,
Yep.
who enlarges his desire as hell,
Yep.
and is as death,
That's it.
and cannot be
Not
satisfied.
be satisfied. Now I made the mistake. I went into this this little corner store. I was trying to find those incense holders. So I went in there, and it's an Elamite store, and I went in there. Oh, hey, how y'all doing in here? He was looking at me just like this.
Yep.
And I was so mad at myself because I know better. But I went in there all, you know, hey, how's it going, man? All happy, but he kept his he stayed on his square. You know, we are different nations. We're not brothers. We're not friends. And I was so mad at myself for allowing that to happen. Man. But them other nations, they keep their distance. Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. I got in that car, man. I was like, God damn it, I let that motherfucker take the message. I was so mad at myself for that, man.
Thank you
Said,
very
hurry
much.
up and buy.
Yeah, hurry up and buy.
You walked out.
Yeah. I was mad, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is back in the first Maccabees. And spoke peaceable words unto them, but it was all deceit. For when he had given them credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people in Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and the walls.
When he get everything he need, he destroys everything else, man. He destroys everything else. And you have to know these things.
Yeah.
If you are, especially today, again, like I said, being so far removed from our history, you don't even know who's who, man. You don't know who's who.
You look at this man's track record, you see that it's that was the importance for them taking away our heritage, like removing us from the scriptures, because the scriptures gives us all that. It gives us the history book that we know that is ours. A lot of the average so-called black men in America, they think their history goes back to the 1600s. They don't trace their history back to Kemet or
Peace, God.
It's all recent. They don't understand how ancient people are, but not just that, the stories, the beefs that we have between these certain nations, and how that all ties in today.
But it only goes as far back as Martin Luther King,
Right,
for example.
right.
You got the month of February called Black History Month. You got the Black History Month. And not a damn one of anybody go back to the scriptures or the Bibles saying that these great men of the Bible They don't even include the Bible in Black History Month because that's not your people according to Esau in this country in the system. But they got what's that?
Malcolm
what's
X.
that? What's the dude, the guy who did peanut butter?
George Washington Carver.
They'll give you but again, they go back to certain, 40s maybe coming up. Other than that, you don't see nothing about Black history, man. And that's another bullshit, month anyway.
They take away our heritage, man. That's like taking away a lot of our power, a lot of our faith. Because you read those stories of King David jumping over the walls and stuff like that. How is the Heavenly Father supposed to deal with you on that level if you can't even believe? So you got guys, like, you know what I mean? Imagine all hell breaking loose, and it's not even a big wall like King David, but just, a fence, like a good fence, like
6 foot fence.
yeah, that man, in that day, man, the allowance of you allowing that to get inside you. You jumping over that 6 foot fence is not a problem. It's not a big issue. But if you don't believe in these things, in the scriptures and in the stories and the people that depending on Yahweh Shai, if you don't depending on the Lord, if you don't believe it, like what are you to do? You have nothing to grasp. You have nothing to. You're not rooted in anything. You have no understanding in anything.
Giving you these earthly things, and you don't understand them. How do you understand the spiritual things? That's in the same vein. How can you expect the Lord to deal with you on a spiritual level? Can you understand
Right.
scriptures?
You don't even believe. You don't even allow that to enter into your mind, your temple. You don't give it space for anything.
And going back to the faith aspect is like our people don't even realize like you talk about like who we are. Like when you try to tell them like who we are and things like that, even when it comes to something simple like when you go into the Black inventors, our people be like, what, we like that? Because like the man, like they gave us an inferiority complex, man. It's like we just
And another thing Esau does, he'll say like this person was the first such and such, the first black person. You know how degrading it is for these people to tell you that this man was the first person to do such a thing, and this is the 1600s. Or he had this one guy that was like, he came up to the camp and he was like, you're Portuguese. I think it was at work. I was at work. He was because where we work at the South Coast is a bunch of Portuguese. He was like, it was here and at work, whatever it was. He was like, Portuguese are the first navigators. I'm sitting there scratching my head like, what the hell was Noah? Before you devils even left Europe, Noah was on a boat navigating through doves, and you know what I'm saying? So they try to take their history and make it everything, and they just want you to forget about the past, like we wasn't on boats traveling back and forth before you devils came.
God was here already. Other God discovered the U.S., the whole continental U.S.
Exactly.
Right. Well, when you're on an island, you got to the island somehow. You know what I'm saying? So what you would call the Tainos or the Awanaks, they wasn't just on those islands just stranded, stuck. You know, they were traveling, doing trade amongst, their people, man. But Esau have you believe that the history starts from there. I went to Renaissance school. The history started from Esau, man. Everybody else was just porch monkeys and the fucking jungle, whether it was Gad or him or everybody was just in the jungle. And Esau had this elaborate life over in Europe and had to come bring civilization to everybody, to the world.
I had a little chat with his Edomite. So he was very proud about saying, what is black culture? And I said, I don't know, you tell me. He's like, well, because that's a very good question. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I said, well, let's start with white culture. What is white culture? He's like, we're one of the greatest people. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. You mean white culture? You rob, you steal, you rob continents, you do this, and he started getting all kind of mad. I said, I'm just saying the truth. If you want to tell me black culture right now to shoot them up, gang, I have to agree with you. Yeah, for the time being, right? Because. But the main perpetrators of that, who started that was you.
So he said we were crabs in the barrel. The question is, what the fuck are the crabs doing? What the fuck are the crabs doing in the barrel in the first place? Who put them in the environment for them to fail, for them to step on each other? Esau set this up. But go ahead, brother.
It's Isaiah 1:6. It says, from the sole of the foot even onto the head, there is no sound.
Well, you gotta start. You might as well
go to 3.
Start up. Yep. Start at 1.
This is Isaiah 1:6. 1:5.
1 and 1.
Yeah. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos,
which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, the day the Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth its owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel will not know. My people do not consider.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like once you know that, damn, Elder was talking about this last week. Like, damn, I'm a Yashala. I'm a son of Jacob. You know, I can do this. You know, I'm from the tribe of Levi, from the tribe of Ephraim, or whatever. I can do this. It gives you more confidence. It gives you more faith. It gives you a higher ability. Your ceiling is high because what they do in Babylon is they make your ceiling low. They give you an artificial ceiling, and you can't. What you strive for is that saying, I reach for the moon, if you miss, you still amongst the stars. There's some truth to that. But they want you just to strive for the bare minimum.
Yeah, they put you
They put you in a box.
Yeah,
The real sin, you got the drop
Right.
sin.
Right.
Even add on to your point, Jacob wrestled an angel. You
Right.
know, so hey,
Right.
that's power. That's there.
That's how he got his
people don't
name.
even know.
Right, right. Yashala, the prince of Jacob's name was turned to Israel. Yep, but
our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity,
Yep.
a seed of evil doers.
well, we was talking about that movie Juice when he was like, he just basically was like Tupac, like I ain't shit, I ain't never gonna be shit, and his whole mentality was, yeah. When I said once I decided, it's how you put it together. It's like got it, but that's Jacob's mentality, man.
Yeah.
They don't understand the black culture, cops, bad boys. You know what I'm saying? Boys in the hood, just all these, just being pumped full of negative energy. You know, propaganda. You start to believe it, man. After a while, you just start to believe it. Right, bro?
Children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord.
Yeah.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel.
And corruption goes back to iniquity, which is basically a sin. The original corruption is just breaking the law, just sinners. You know, they've corrupted to the point where they think that sinning is the way. So selling drugs to your people, like that guy China Mac, right? He did the interview and he said, you know, I wasn't selling drugs to my people. You know, I'll go to the hoods and stuff like that. So it was okay for him to go to our community, quote unquote, and sell drugs. But he understood that wasn't the right thing to do in his community. But this is the mind frame of our people. Our people think that it's cool to sell drugs. I'm a drug dealer, I'm a gangbanger, I'm a killer, I'm a robber. But you're doing that to your own nation. Yeah. So you made that cool, you know? But other nations, like you said, Elder, when you walk in the store, that Elamite move, it was a difference. They don't give a fuck about no skin color. They'll be as darker than your ass. You know? They don't care. Once you walk in that store, you feel that tension. That vibe is there. They hate us. They hate us. And once you don't know that, you let your guard down, you're confused. And when you look at Jake is confused out here. Everybody knows it's a team. Everybody know that, look, these are my people. I stick with my people. I help my people, right? If I get a store, I'm going to hire my people because I'm going to feed my people, right? But our people, we've turned away from that. And we were the main nation that operated like that. That the laws is what separated us from everybody else. Our togetherness, our brotherhood. That's why they always hated us. They always hated us just because of that.
One of Israel unto anger. They are going away backwards. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick.
We all deal with this. The relationship of between Yahshua and the Heavenly Father is one of, you know, you with your children, like what's it called, a microcosm, or just something small. Everything in the universe is something small that starts with atoms and neutrons, and it just expands to something. But the cycle is the same cycle. The same. Why should you beat the hell out of my son? You don't listen. You're gonna do the same thing over and over again. It's a time where it gets abuse. It gets abuse. You just gotta wait it out. That's what the Heavenly Father is beating the hell out of us. This is our last go around, you know. There's only so much you could beat your child, you know, to where it becomes pointless.
Yeah, to back you real quick from the comment board.
Yeah. You're a revolt, boy. So now you're just a bad guy. I did something new to my son, you know what I'm saying? Which I didn't do before. And because I waited so long, you know, when I finally did it to him, I'm appearing to be the bad guy. When all actuality, I should have been disciplining you like this a long time ago. But once you start to do something to him, it's like, why are you doing this now? You know, but it's the same thing, the same principle.
Even in the law says if you have a rebellious child, you basically bring him from the council, eventually the Lord basically put him to death. That's why the Lord is bringing judgment on people, because they constantly are doing the same old bullshit, and now the Lord's like, yo, I'm done.
And one important thing is about that is that's in front of the congregation, so that other kids can learn what not to do. You know, it put fear, you know, throughout. Why is Dad? Why did he get stoned? What's he's acting up? But in this society, a killer doesn't get put to death. A killer, first put in, he got 25 years for what? Just put his ass to death. He killed somebody for a stupid reason. Why does he deserve to live? Why is he a burden on the taxpayer? You want to save money, right? Why is he a burden on the taxpayer?
Exactly.
It was a video of a Stone Cold Killer getting out of jail. He said, I got put in jail for killing two.
Oh, yeah.
He said that's all they know about. But he said it's gonna be more because I'm gonna kill more.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, he said, well, there's a remedy for him. It's death.
They should put him to death the first time.
Yeah, we don't gotta give him health insurance in jail and pay for his bed and free hot. You
You gotta worry about
Got the good meal.
sending him back to the spirit realm.
parole board. That's all unnecessary.
Yeah, Ark, I got two from the Karma Board real quick, each one. This is our GMS Spiritual Ark 144K, Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Sardis children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
They don't know the Heavenly Father. You know the Heavenly Father by way of His laws. That's how.
Somebody from somewhere like Epstein, all of a sudden they hang themselves in jail, right? You know?
Yeah.
Hang themselves.
They say commit suicide.
One of the henchmen on.
But see, I got a scripture, and they also use them for cheap labor too. Remember that goes back to the was it the 14th, no 13th Amendment that I can't remember. all the time.
Slavery, unless you've committed a crime.
Right.
Yeah,
So
after that, the Emancipation Proclamation,
Yep.
what you have. What was that? Angola.
Yep.
Angola. That was the biggest plantation in Louisiana. Did it? Right after, shortly after that,
Yep.
it turned to the biggest prison.
Yep.
So the helmets that they make in the military, to the uniforms that they make in McDonald's, that's all
Yep.
made
And a
through
license
prison
plate,
labor.
yeah. Yep.
License plate, all made through prison labor. Concord Farms. When y'all go to the stores, y'all see the Concord milk and all that. That's all. Yeah,
Juice,
juice,
yeah.
Concord
Yeah,
juice. That's all Concord Farm up there in Concord of the jails that they go to. So it's a pre-release. So that's a good thing. They make it a good thing so that you go to Concord and they're happy, and you get in the system. You're happy to go to Concord Farm because you get to walk out a little bit. You know, you get to smoke a cigarette. You get to fucking. But that's how they set it up. You know, just a house nigga. You're happy to get. You're not. You know, locked up 24 hours a day. You get to roam around. You know, get a little bit extra freedom. But that's how Esau sets up. Esau's a smart. He's a smart devil, man. He's a very intelligent, smart, cunning, wise, crafty devil. And if you think that he's dumb, you're sadly mistaken. You don't understand his intellect, man. His trickery runs deep. It runs deep. And the first mistake you'll make is thinking that he's a dummy.
Hey, that's how it is when you feed snakes. You know, the rat goes inside the cage. The rat is like, when I'm not in here, he's not even paying attention to the snake because you got to feed the snake. Stop moving. You strike immediately. You don't strike. And the snake leaves him alone. And then all of a sudden, he's walking around, you're comfortable.
It's his cage.
Wow! Right against the window. He got that. Wrapped him up.
Same way, man, with the frogs in the park. Yeah, the frogs in the park.
Everybody in the system gets paid. The judges, prosecutors, district attorneys, COs, court officers, judges, parole officers.
And you got the record execs.
This is your middle to upper class that we're talking about. Lawyers, like they're not finna scrap this system. Because if it was a brand like a business, they'd be out of business because the business don't make sense. You can't tell me that a homeless man that stole, I don't know, from the store is worth 6 months of. You gotta clean their clothes. You gotta feed them. You gotta pay for electricity. You gotta pay for dental, health care. You gotta pay for all that. You can't tell me that money adds up. It doesn't. And so much that the federal government gotta pay these states a basically amounts of money for people that they lock up because they know if it was ran like a business, it wouldn't make sense.
What people don't realize is the child support money that they collect from the people goes right to their retirement.
Yeah.
So this is why they force when you get their probate court and judges, they force that child support. They want that child support like a snake wants blood, man. Because that funds their retirement. So the more money they can put in the retirement bank, the better off they're gonna be. You know,
Believe it, I have a testimony. So one of my friends, his woman put him on what they call the courts, beat her up or whatever, put him on child support. Then they made up whatever. She went back and said, nah, I want to take back the charges, da 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 da. You know what the court said to her? I said, no, once the system's involved there, there's no going back because that goes into that racket. They want to expunge it.
Yeah.
Now they just became an entity that they could just keep sucking up and sucking up.
At first you could withdraw, and then now you have like if you press charges, then they have something where the state can pick up your charges. Even though you don't pick up charges now, it's the state.
Yeah, like half the child support cases are the DOI going after you. It's not really that person, and then you have the arrears. So if you're late on your child support payment, they tack on like double, and you gotta ask yourself, why are they charging when they're not doing anything?
Well, there's actually there's a late fee and there's a arrear that you have to pay. So you got to pay both. You have to pay. You get whammy 2 times.
Yeah.
You can owe $7,000 child support, but with the fees and all this, all this shit they tack on, you owe $14,000.
Oh, I'm about to say, and then the woman don't even get all of it. I think 66% go to the state, and then like the rest of the go, yeah.
And it's,
You know what I'm saying?
and it's unconstitutional.
Yep.
Like the state can't, according to your own law, like you're not supposed to be allowed to intrude in other people's business. It started off with military wives, people that men that would go to the military and they'll get put to death. It was like a funding that they got it because of that father was no longer out of the picture. From that, it might have morphed into the system that you see now, which is totally just to break up families, man. Break up families.
I had a couple from the GMS Boston comment board. This is Judah the Prince, Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Then when you jump down to 21,
People just add to that real quick. Like you go look at your job, man. I look at because I call myself trying to, you know what I mean, do my own little side work to stay away from the. And that was the thing that I wanted. I didn't want to go back to the plantation, if you will. But boy, was I mistaken. You know, the Heavenly Father had a different plan. But when I went back to that place, man, I'm looking at my people, and I'm like, man, only if y'all knew that y'all are some goddamn slaves, man. Y'all are like. What they had that quote, Harriet Tubman. I don't know how true it is, but the quote is a damn good quote. She said, because it's true. You could back it up with the scripture. She said, I freed hundreds of slaves. I could have freed thousands if only I could convince them that they were slaves. That statement holds true to this day. Here we are talking about our situation, but the average so-called black Native American Hispanic, they don't believe that they're slaves, man. They believe that they're, what are you talking about? They're going to tell you about, you don't know about, Martin Luther, segregation and shit. George Beatty. I'm not Jewish. That was back in the day.
They all come in different spirit. They all come in the same spirit.
That was ancient, that was so goddamn, it wasn't long ago, man. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago where you were literally in just chains and they give you stuff like this. You can put the camera on there. So you could feel good about yourself. You could feel good about Martin Luther King and get all warm and fuzzy inside when you think of the movement that he wanted to do. It all rocks you to sleep.
Yeah, man, ain't no Jake over there.
One the dude, the liquid metal dude.
Yeah, man, ain't no Jake over there.
And it's all photo op. They're gonna put it on their Facebook. And in the bio, they're gonna say Black Lives Matter. Don't give a fuck about it. Go ask them for some loan, some shekels.
I just saw a clip on TikTok of this Edomite coming out. She's like, did y'all know that George Washington, according to the few facts that he had slaves and according to his neighbors, he was one of the most ruthless slave owners that ever lived. And that's who the Edomites worship. They have a whole Washington Day. They have Columbus Day.
You got Washington Street, every hood.
And they know what they did. The Edomites say that they know the history, right? So what do you think they think about us? You know?
And they on the
Or
Mount
what it
Rushmore.
says in Habakkuk where it talks about shameful
Yeah,
screws.
Yeah, it should be on their glory. Yep.
Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a
And
gift
gift
destroyeth the heart.
And this is why that gift has deterred a lot of our people from seeing the truth, man. Because they're getting that gift. The gift destroys the heart. When somebody comes to you with some type of purse or some type of something that, oh yeah, he's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy.
That's
But again, our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They don't want to accept this knowledge because this knowledge doesn't add up with the ways of this world, man. That's right. The ways of this world is pure wickedness. But our people love to have it so, man.
From the Karma Board again, it's Sirach 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sin is prudence.
Right. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. The earth is built off of wickedness because the earth was given unto the hand of the wicked. If it was given unto the hand of the wicked, they're going to promote wickedness, man. They're not going to promote righteousness. They're not about righteousness. Okay? They love to kill. They love to steal and do all types of abominable things. They love to put in unrighteous decrees. America's built off of unrighteous decrees, man.
right.
Everything in this place is unrighteous. Every last decree that they put forward. Okay? We read Psalms 55. That tells you a lot about their unrighteousness, the decrees that they've done. Right? You know, Esau tells you that they acquired this land because they traded the land for fucking 2 pearls. They gave the Native Americans 2 pieces of, some bullshit, man. Some real bullshit. When Gad knew at the time, you can't give the earth away. You can't give this away. It's not yours to give. You see? But this is what they tell you in their systems. We got
Real quick, Isaiah 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
right, and that's why a lot of people hate the Hebrew Israelites. Because we're putting forth the light of the Lord. And people don't like to see the light. They like to hear the lies and deceit that's been taught and that's being taught in them. See? And being taught these lies and deceits, you don't want to have nothing to do with this righteousness. Yeah. You want nothing to do with it. Can 2 walk together except they be agreed? So nobody's going to agree with what we're saying because the true person here in Babylon. You know? And when the Lord finally comes down and starts opening up that can of whoop ass, then it's going to be known. It's going to be evidently clear who the wicked is. Yep. Go ahead.
Going back to the Karma Board, Isaiah 29 and 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us?
That's right. You see it. That's why you emphasize back more about it. But you got all these elites who are behind the scenes. Yeah. They get together in all these little secret, meeting houses, Jekyll Island. What is that goddamn owl over at
Moloch?
Bohemian Grove?
Yeah, Bohemian Grove. Yeah.
These devils do a lot of wickedness behind the scenes, man. and then on top of that, they have all types of meetings where they pass laws and decrees where they don't even get the Congress involved or the government involved. They just push it in place, man. And they be like, oh, this happened overnight, and you go to abide by it. Right. Good.
Jeremiah 49 verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Right. So we have been uncovered his secrets, man. As the book of Obadiah says, how is this hidden thing sought up, man? Why are they being sought up? Because the Lord has set his pen in the right place at the right time. Before the men of the Lord came up on the highways and byways, we didn't hear too much about Esau and so-called white man and his wickedness, man. So much so, half these crackers don't even realize that they're wicked, man. They don't even know they're the wicked. They don't even know that they're the ones the Bible speaks of. They're the descendants of those people.
They get so offended too when you start. I'd be like, dang. I'd be like, first of all, like I remember when I first came into the truth, this white dude called me the N-word. You know what I'm saying? So, I start calling him Edomite and stuff like that. And then I told him, I was like, man, this is why it's the wicked. He said, I'm wicked. He said, I know you ain't calling me wicked. All you do is shoot up people and sell drugs. Like, it's so crazy how he flipped, like how Esau was able to put the spotlight on us and not him.
Getting into it, though. The thing is, Esau so goddamn smart and punished.
Yeah.
He has made it so that the name of Edom is no more to be
Yeah.
known in the world.
Yeah.
You got people, the scholars saying, "Oh, Esau's done away with. They've died back in the Roman Jewish wars.
Yeah.
You know, Herod was the last, you know,
Yeah.
Edomite on the
Right.
planet.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, you got to be a smart individual to push that.
Yep.
And this is why these crackers don't know they're the Edomites.
Yep.
Because they suppressed it.
Yep.
You go into a dictionary, right? You go into an older dictionary, let's say from the 60s and 70s. You can look up Jacob. It's going to give you all kinds of history on Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, the 12 sons, and you know the history of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look up Esau, Jacob's brother.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Why is that? Because these devils are so smart and cunning. They knew there's going to be a point in time where their true biblical nationality was going to be exposed. And now, if they can separate themselves from that name Edom, Esau, then it's going to be hard for the people to figure out that they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. That's right. See?
So real quick to go with you know how they say that Esau's done and
Right.
away with. Ecclesiastes
4:16.
chapter 4 verse 16.
Yep.
There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in them.
Right, there's no end of all the people. So I know I read somewhere that was saying that Herod was the last known Edom. So if Herod had a concubine somewhere, made up with her, and she fled somewhere. You know what? His seed is still preserved.
Yeah.
That seed is still preserved.
Yeah.
You see? But it makes no goddamn sense. But devil is cunning. He's slick. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what to put out there. He knows what exactly the people are gonna gravitate to.
Right.
They're gonna gravitate to Esau. They're gonna gravitate to Jacob. Everybody wants to be Israel. Everybody's you got the spiritual Israelites. You got the Airline Israelites. You got the blood of Christ. You got all these people that now become Israelites.
man.
But nobody knows about Edom. Nobody knows anything about Edom. They don't have it. But when the scriptures speak about, you know, binding them in bundles and burning them, that's a future prophecy right there.
Right.
Obadiah is a future prophecy. It speaks about binding them and putting them. Where in the scriptures can you read that Esau was burnt in bundles? They put to death, right? You ain't gonna read that because it hasn't happened. Because Esau had to be preserved for these last days, man.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So,
Everything that you read in scripture, such as the flood, Sodom and Gomorrah, there's memorials left behind.
right, tokens. Yep.
Not taking place. There's nothing left behind. Say Esau got burned up.
Right. You would see the field of Edom. So all the Edomites burnt. You know, they would have something because these devils love to label everything that they go around. Everywhere you go, there's a label for something. You know, this is the last stand of this man and that man. But we have no indicators on where the last Edomite be buried. The last stronghold of the Edomites. You know, if they have been destroyed. You know, but we have sought out the things of Esau Edom, and we know who you are.
Right.
Put you on blast right now. Now the whole world knows that the Edomites are still on the planet Earth.
Yep.
You know, they question themselves. Are we the Edomites? Am I a descendant of Edom? But they know they are, man. Some of the people come forward and tell that.
Exactly. Even in social media, you got Esau making video, making saying that, man, all this time I never knew that I was an Edomite. Those guys was white. You hear that about on YouTube, TikToks, Instagram. You know, Esau coming out, letting the world know that they're Edomite. Yeah.
Matter of fact, give me Obadiah. Start at 10. Start at 10.
So Obadiah, one in
Start at 10.
10, and it reads. It says, "For violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover
For
thee."
the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Now, who has committed all types of violence against Jacob?
Right.
Edom, Esau. Now it says, shame shall cover thee. Now, we're talking about some future prophecy right here. Because we can't find anywhere in the scriptures where the fulfillment of Jacob ruling over Esau has been fulfilled.
Right.
Where the fulfilling of Jacob having Esau in chains and as slaves has been fulfilled. Esau still reigning supreme on the planet, man. Go ahead.
Huh? And it says, "And thou shalt be cut off forever."
Right, Esau shall be cut off forever. These devils are still running around, man. The scholars know who they are. They know that they're Edomites. Go ahead.
It says, "In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces and his foreigners, and it says, and foreigners enter into his gates and
Now,
cast lot.
we was kind of having a discussion about some of the possessions of Israel that Esau has carried off, man. Just look at the Ark of Titus. The Ark of Titus is a prime example of how Esau carried off these goodly things that belonged unto our people. And they've done that continuously. Whenever a power structure fell, what'd they do? One of the first things they do is go and get them riches, man.
Yeah.
Get them artifacts.
Yeah.
Spoils
You
of
know,
war.
it is said that Queen Elizabeth was sitting on the throne that belonged to David. You know? I mean, how true it is, I mean, you know, but it doesn't surprise me that these artifacts have been held on to throughout the years, man. Go ahead.
It says the foreigners enter into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even though it says even thou wasn't as one of them.
Go ahead.
It says, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. It says, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. It says, thou should have not entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. It says, yea, though it says, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity.
Right, and there's plenty of scriptures, and there's plenty of proof positives that show that these things have happened to the children of Israel by the hand of Esau.
Yep.
You know, one time we came together with Esau is when our father died. You know, there was a moment of truth, if you will, right? There was a moment of truth. But when that truth was up, Esau was out for blood, man. It has been ever since. They said there's perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got one day real quick. Elders.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is Psalm 137 verse 7.
This is spirit.
Oh,
Yes. Go ahead, read it.
He says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
So if you look at it, they would have to attribute most of these things to Hitler, if you will. Because as it stands, Hitler was the only one that has done such atrocities to the so-called Jewish people, right? So Hitler was an Edomite himself,
Right.
the so-called Jew himself. That's right.
He says, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed.
That's America. America, old daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Esau Edom is in control of Babylon right now. And it's going to be destroyed in these upcoming years, man. Lord willing, it's this year.
I hope so.
Right. Go ahead.
Happy shall it be that we rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Right. How'd you serve us? Slavery, rape, fraud? Go ahead.
He says, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little one against the storm.
Right. We're going to do the same exact thing to your little ones that you've done unto our little ones. We're going to break them out of shape. We say we're going to take and bash their little ones against the stone. The scripture said it. The Lord said it. That's right. And we're going to perform it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, no one had a problem. You crackers didn't have a problem with it when it was our people getting smashed and killed and put to death. Nobody had a problem with it. One cracker said it was for the greater good of the, what do you say? It was for the greater good of the advancement of America.
Oh, man.
You see? So you had no problem with it. Well, it's going to be for the greater good for the advancement of the uprising of the children of Israel.
That's right.
How about that? And for all you non-believers, you're going to see real soon, man. Go ahead.
He said, Amos chapter 1 verse 11, he said, thus said the Lord.
Hold on, brother. Let me spread it out a little bit. That's all right. Now, we're going to come back to that. Go ahead.
Isaiah 47 verse 6, I was brought from my people, I have polluted my inheritance, and gave them thine hands. Thou didst show them the mercy, upon the ancient hast thou very late heavy with thy yoke.
And it just stands and holds true to this very day. The so-called white man showed no goddamn mercy to the so-called Native American, the so-called black man, or to the so-called Puerto Rican, man. That stands true to this very day. The Chinese people and all these other heathens, they didn't do as wickedly unto Israel as the so-called white man has done, man. So that's another indicator how we understand and know that Esau's well and alive and kicking, man. He's pulsing the whole shit today. He up on 2 feet, creating all kinds of wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth, stirring up shit. All right, let's roll.
7. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou wilt not lay these things to thine heart. Now that you just remember the light of Endor.
I'll be, as I said, I'll be the lady forever.
Yeah.
That's another thing America thinks, that they're so damn delicate. They think they're so prominent. They think they're so, so graceful. They're wicked, man.
Yeah.
You know, they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. They're forked-tongued. They speak on both sides of their mouth. Their thoughts are evil as hell. Yep. Go ahead. Speaking lies.
Strange.
Yep.
Verse 8.
Psalm
Therefore,
14. Go ahead.
therefore, hear now, thou art even to pleasure, thou dwellest carelessly, thou sayest in thine heart, I am, and no one else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Which they're going to sit as a widow, all right? Because when that war comes, as it's sort to the book of Ezra, when that war comes, you're going to be put to death, man. You're going to be put to death. And you're going to lose all types of men over in these wars. And rightfully so.
Yep.
You think you're going to go to these other people's country and set up shop and raise your flag up in the air? That shit ain't going to happen, man. That shit, you walking on thin ice right now. You know, you want to come up against these small little countries, but you ain't saying shit to China, you ain't saying shit to Russia. Talking all kinds of nonsense. Russia gonna blow your ass off the map, man.
Yep.
And if I may add two real quick, Elder Vladimir Putin said this, you know, in the media, and then translate, he said that, you know, if America were to meet them in the field, they would completely decimate them.
Yeah. You know, they get all this hype and all this talk about, you know, Ukraine is in the fight. Ukraine can beat Russia and all that. Listen, man. Again, there's a level of smoke and mirrors that these devils have to perform because the appointed time is not yet. But when the Lord truly sets the appointed time, then you're gonna see, man. Anybody that's joined hand in hand with America is gonna be put to death, destroyed.
And then just mention that too, brother. Now, America is saying that Ukraine's winning the war, but you got people that's making videos letting them know that the Ukraine is not winning the war, they're actually losing the war.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
Again, it's all propaganda.
Yeah.
It's all propaganda with the news. You know? Go ahead, brother. You got something to say?
On TikTok, I was watching this video games and movies. Let them battle music again. Like it's realistic.
America's in a fantasy land, man. They're in a fantasy world. They're pretending it's all fantasy to them. You know, and that's how they judge their skill level by the games and video games they put out. You know, USA. That's all they got is fucking chance. But at the end of the day, America ain't got no goddamn backbone, man.
Right.
Oh, no.
There's no backbone over here. You know, even the art of war, they don't even they just drop bombs on people now.
Nope.
They don't shoot over war. It's all right. The Lord's gonna fix their asses real nice.
That's right, that's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day, the loss of children
Loss of children.
and widowhood.
How is that going to be possible? How is these things going to take place? The loss of children and widowhood. The Lord's going to put everybody to death over here, man. And as the scripture says, in one day it's going to come.
1 hour.
So
Revelation.
all these things that are being spoken of through the scriptures are going to stand true, man. And there's not going to be anybody to turn it back or to change it. You know, you got people that have come up and asked us, well, you know, what if we do it this way? What if we do it that way? No, it's not going to go that way, man. Just listen to what the scriptures are saying. So the prophets are breaking it down and understand. So you gotta go, you know, do what you gotta do, have your fun or whatever, because it's gonna end real soon, man.
Just like it just happened, it says that the right was on the wall.
Right.
Yep. And they tickle.
Yep. And the right is on the wall. And we post it, man. We're publishing the word. As the scripture says, and the word was published. And here it is, man. You don't have to believe us because we're black men, you know, uneducated, no jobs, you know, we may be racist, you call us rapists and racist. You don't have to believe anything we say.
Right.
But one thing's for sure, people are listening. You're listening. People are listening to what's happening.
That's right.
And keep in mind, if you think this bank thing is just a spoof that one or two banks, they have problems, it's just going to be a goddamn windfall. It's going to be a domino effect, man. Get your money out the. You want some advice? Get your money out the banks right now. Get it while you can.
Yep.
Because you watch, you're gonna sit there and get comfortable. Think, I'm not worried about it, because Esau's telling these people that their money is insured. Yeah, the money is insured if it's one or two institutions that are happening go down.
Right.
But when it's a goddamn grand scale,
Yep.
they're gonna be like, yeah, unfortunately, we didn't anticipate this, so you out of luck, man. And then you're gonna see dead bodies out in front of the banks.
That's the reason why they keep comparing it to the Great Depression, because once that whole banking thing happened, there wasn't even enough soup for our people to get it, for our food banks and stuff.
Over in Germany, they were burning piles of money, man, and keeping the firewood, burning the money, man. Again, it's all going to be useless around here.
And they talking about Russia cyber attacks, so you already know what that means. So when it does wipe out, they're gonna blame it on Russia.
Right.
And then they put on the bank.
They're going to shut this whole cyber shit down anyway. They're going to shut this internet shit right down, man. You know, it's going to happen. They're going to have to shut it down because too much information is being let out, man.
And the last thing, if I may mention with TikTok, come to find out now that it has to do with the shares. So the shareholders of TikTok, they want them to show their shares to U.S. stockholders so that they can control the content. So it never had nothing to do with Chinese spying on us. It's the fact that they don't have control of the information that's being put out there.
There's a lot of shit going on, man.
Esau's
There's a
full of
lot of
shit,
moving
man.
parts going on right now. That's why it's imperative that you people take heed to what's going on, what's being said, and all the things that are being done right now. It's imperative. All right, go ahead.
I got
Come on, I
Ecclesiasticus.
still want that too, though. Come on.
I got Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 7.
Yep.
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord,
right.
and put not off from day to day.
That's right.
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth,
That's right.
and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Right, just when you think you're comfortable.
Yep.
You know, there was that movie Purge, right? Purge, they had the safe houses. They had the dude was the inventor of, fortifying your house, so to say. When those bars come down to the earth, you become a prisoner in your own home. You become a prisoner in your own home. So just when you think you're gonna be safe in your own dwelling, then the Lord's gonna come down and make some shit happen, man. There's always gonna be a way. There's always gonna be a way for a nigga to get your shit. I'm telling you, man. There's gonna be no stopping people. When somebody got it set in their mind, their heart to get something, they gonna get it.
You know what?
They ain't coming in to take your goddamn safe box. They coming in to get your family, man.
Exactly.
They coming in to ravish your family. You know? Go ahead, bro.
Con, this is Luke 12 and 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do, I will pull down my barn and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Right, now this is another facet of being safe in your securities, in your goods, and in your belongings, and your possessions. What Creflo Dollar said, you gotta love your Lord with your goods, your possessions, your stuff. You know? Go ahead, love the Lord with your stuff.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is.
You gotta love the Lord with your stuff. What does that mean? With your stuff. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 19.
That nigga Shalaki, money! They was enjoying Jubilee because why? They was receiving all that money. It was money.
Private jets.
Yeah, man, but they make a mockery of it.
Yeah.
They make a mockery of it, but the people are so goddamn blind, they don't even see it. Yeah. They don't even, if I was in there, I'm like, these niggas up here moonwalking and sliding and gliding on a whole bunch going home at the end. You know? But all that's gonna be done away with, man. This system is imploding on itself right as we speak, man.
Right.
The banking system is there, in each one of these banks and these CEOs, they're leaving. They're shutting their doors. But you don't think they've already prepared for this? They've already prepared for this. Now you got Congress talking about, these big banks, they should give back the bonuses that they received. Ain't nobody giving the goddamn thing back, man. It's too late for all that. Go ahead, brother, finish off.
Verse 19. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up. Yes, take thy ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But Yahweh said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
Right.
Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided?
Right. So what's gonna happen when the Lord comes down and it takes you, man? You sitting there planning, building bonds and building bigger, going out to the yard looking up like, yeah, you know what? And your Lord's gonna get you guys, man. That's why the scriptures say, man, use this word but don't abuse it. And that's the difference between, us brothers in this truth and those people in the world. Those people in the world have become such accustomed to using this world to the point where they have no other choice, man. But we have been instructed to use the word, but don't abuse it. Just use it right. You know what? Get a little bit here, get a little bit there, and you keep it pushing. Don't ground yourself and leave yourself in a position of you have no other choice but to rely on this country, man. That's the difference, man. Use the word, but don't abuse it. When you find yourself, buying and digging in real deep, first of all, we're all stuck here in America. We're all stuck here. And what I mean, we're not looking to jump on a boat to go somewhere. We can't afford to go no goddamn where. And on top of that, you have obligations here. You may have your family here. You may have, your need of feeding your family or providing for your family. So where you gonna go? You ain't going nowhere. But we trust in Yahweh Shai. As like I said, he commanded us, use this word, but don't abuse it. Give us this day our daily bread. You see? And this is how we operate with one another. But you people out there in the world, when this fucking thing collapses, everything implodes on itself, you're gonna be screaming and crying like, don't be crying, man. There's gonna be a lot of people. What happened? Why? What's going on? Yep. Stamps, let all that shit go down, man. Let all that shit go down. And you're gonna see all these individuals, men and women, everybody's on food stamps. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you've trusted so much into this system, you have no other way out or no other means. So when this system falls, you are going to fall.
Zero faith.
Zero faith. When the system falls, you will fall. And that's the truth, man. There's no other way to look at that. Because this system is what's holding you up right now. The scripture says, love not the world, nor the things that are in the world. You've become so accustomed to leaning on Esau and trusting in your enemy that when he pulls the plug from out of the wall, then you're gonna be stuck, man. And will the Lord then hear your voice at that time? Chances are probably still, because you are listening to the word of the Lord right now. Go ahead.
Said that they gonna call him early, but he ain't gonna answer.
That's right. Yep. You should call upon me, but I would not answer. We only telling you what you need to know, man. If for you women out there who believe and truly trust in Yahweh Shai, may he protect you. But for you men and women who talk shit and walk about like, I'm high value and all this high value bullshit, America has no value. So how the hell are you high value? There's no value in this place, man. High value, this high value. Get the hell out of there with that bullshit. America is useless, man. There's zero value in America. All right, so where we at now? All right, let's go.
All right, this is from NBCnews.com.
NBC News, right?
It says nuclear power plant leaks 400,000 gallons of
Yeah, I saw that.
What does it say?
in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It says Minnesota. This was posted March 17, 2023. The Minnesota regulators say Thursday that Washington the cleanup of the leak of 400,000 gallons of radioactive water came sell energy onto Southern power.
All right, then, so you had a Ohio train crash that polluted the water and came in the air, big pool of smoke. Now you got this one here, a nuclear power plant seeping nuclear,
Waste
into the water stream. What more do you people need, man?
South Carolina.
What more do you people need, man? There's so much more. See, that's the thing. People don't take heed until it affects their neighborhood. If it's not affecting your neighborhood, then your ears go up, like, the dog ears go up, they, oh shit, they're alert. Then your ears go up. Now you won't be like, well, what are we going to do? This is unacceptable. Right.
Or remember that train derailment in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
So they saying, you remember that 15-minute smart city? Now they talking about they want Cleveland, Ohio to be the first 15-minute smart city, which is so funny because that happened right after they basically telling people to move from that area and move over here. So they trying to get everybody into one spot. Yeah.
The government sees over the land.
Yep.
Man, you people think it's a joke, man. You think it's a joke. You think we be out here in the freezing cold and talking shit for no police officer.
No. And that's what you're going to hear in the future, too.
That's right. Somebody got slotted way over there in the distance.
If I may add to show you how it's planned, the Lord put the spirit on a dude on TikTok to where the derailment in Virginia, he actually showed the railway and he showed how it's deteriorating, and he said, I guarantee this is going to be the next one, and it was in a week. That's exactly where the train crashed, because it went into the into the water source.
I'm telling you, listen. These devils ain't afraid to shut this bitch down. They already did it with that COVID shit hit, man. They'll shut this bitch down in a heartbeat. But people don't believe it though. They don't believe it. They'll shut this bitch down in a heartbeat. Look at the sports. Look at the NBA. Baseball, the football. They generate billions of fucking dollars, man. And they shut that shit right down. They ain't afraid to shut it down to get control of the masses of the people, man. They're not afraid to obliterate cities and to contaminate cities. Look at what's that over in Russia there? Chernobyl.
Oh yeah.
Chernobyl over there, man. They shut that whole shit is a wasteland over there. You think it's foreign? You think it's foreign thought to have that here happen in America? It's gonna happen, man. With all these fucking polluted water systems and streams, it's gonna happen. Go ahead.
It says Excel Energy Monticello nuclear power plant, and the company says there's no danger to the public. Excel Energy took swift action to contain the leak to the plant site, which holds no health and safety risk to the environment.
It's bullshit. Right. Bullshit. You can get a fucking car driving by with a fucking bad exhaust system. It'd be all kinds of fucking smoke. You'd be like, God damn, it smells like gas and all kinds of shit, man. You mean to tell me some nuclear shit leaking into the system? Right. Some fucking chemicals released up into the air is not going to be harmful to the people? That's bullshit, man. That's pure bullshit. They're spraying barium oxide. As the old saying goes, what goes up must come down. Right. So that barium oxide comes down to the ground that they're spraying up there. You don't think that's affecting the people? Of course it's affecting the people.
The Ohio River and from Minnesota to the Mississippi River, that's all being tainted right now.
Ohio, right?
Yeah. But that's all being tainted right now. So all that stuff is going into the Mississippi River. That's equivalent to the Nile River over there in the Middle East. Because when that get tainted, that means all the food system's gonna be destroyed, all the water system's gonna be destroyed.
The fish.
Yeah, fish, all that.
And they're gonna have a heavy restriction on water.
Yep.
There's gonna be a heavy restriction on water. They're gonna
Farmland, you know, the food that is grown on that, you're not going to be able to eat it.
Yep.
Because that's where those waterways they run.
Yep.
Farm.
Yep.
They're using that irrigation systems.
Yep. Crop. Farmers gotta water their crops and all this shit.
Yep.
This shit is over, man. This shit is about over.
We didn't have food from the pandemic. We definitely were getting ready not to have food.
That's right.
Tainted water.
Animals and shit, crops and man.
Yeah.
It's just bad, bro. You gotta bring this out real quick. Second, we'll get the next.
2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Right. We are not ignorant of his devices. The Lord has put the spirit on us to be circumspect. The Lord has put the spirit on us to watch and pray to see what's going on. You see? And again, prophecy tells you, will give you warning. The Lord said that, give them warning from me. The Lord is orchestrating all of these things, man.
Yep.
But he's using Esau Edom to be that catalyst to get this thing popping. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 4:16. It says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I and be a stone one with another and consume away.
People better realize and understand what's going on around here. As we read earlier, be circumspect. Understand what you're involved in, understand what's happening, because it's going to be a matter of time before you realize it's too late. It's going to be too late to take action. Right?
I have one more thing. This is such a wasteful nation.
When I do that, you know, when I used to other things,
When I shall sit up evil and famine, we shall be for the destruction, and we shall send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread.
that's right.
Also, that's how it's gonna the price of the food is gonna shoot up even higher. Hyperinflation, scarcity of so everything else is gonna be tainted. So whatever's left over, best believe, it's gonna get to the highest.
And there's not going to be much left over because these stores are going to be empty. The store shelves are going to be empty. They show you that in these movies. We tell you this all the time. It's just going to be empty, man. Anybody trying to go into the store late, you get there late, shit. Shit. You might as well forget it, man. And that's when the irrational thought is going to come. I got to go get a nigga shit. I got to go steal something from somebody. You see a lady walk with 2 bags, you're like, ugh, snatch your shit with all that, man.
During the pandemic, they had a number of how many people
Yeah.
Yep. I know it's still down where I live. I think it was like 107 something at one time. So you have to wait till they go in, and every time somebody come out, then they let you go in.
Long lines.
What's gonna happen? Between the bank saying we have no more money and the food store saying we have no more food, what you gonna do, man? That's why the scripture says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, I go right to the point, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread.
There it is.
Great tribulation.
Because of the lack of bread. What does that mean, the lack of bread? Meaning the lack of food.
Yep.
The lack of resources that you may need to sustain yourself. These things are going to come to a bare minimum until they come to naught. And then when they come to naught, you're going to have to go take it from somebody. You're going to have to ravish somebody's house. You're going to have to take somebody out. Go ahead.
Lamentations 4 verse 9.
Right.
They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger.
Right, there's going to be a lot of hungry people, man. We're talking about famine. We're coming upon those days where famine is going to be real, man. It's going to be a real live issue. Go ahead.
For these pine away, stricken through the want of the fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children.
That's right.
They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my
You
people.
need to son your own children. Oil. You know, oil your own children.
Yep.
These things are what's on the horizon, man. Go ahead, brother.
When I was going to act, because Tajiafa always goes into the carbon footprint, there isn't even going to be enough to share. Because once you get your serving, yeah, man, that's it. You know, and similar was in Venezuela, we always biometric system to where they would only let you get with so much out the grocery store. And then even with the book of the famine of Sodom Mario, when you look at how much the donkey's head cost, there ain't no meat on that, but that was a form of hyperinflation.
Oh, and they just pumped in another $2 trillion to help out the banks. Which you already know when hyperinflation happened, that helps out the bankers, but the poor gets poorer because the prices go up. You know what I'm saying?
Until the poor decide to take matters into their own hands, as the scripture says. their actions are standing their course.
Yep.
They're going to take matters in their own hands when these things go. But again, this is a real live active thing that we're going to be witnessing. Man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man, in the vacuum, you had Sri Lanka. You had what happened in thing where they were going up in the stores taking shit.
Yeah.
They were going up to the politicians' houses, all of their kitchen, all of that. Yeah, so, yeah.
What do you think these elites are doing, man? They're not hanging in their neighborhoods because you know with the means of access to information in this country, you can find out where any and everybody lives. You think these devils are gonna sit there in their little homes on the hill? They're
Right.
gone, man.
Right,
They're
Elder.
gone.
And everybody got one of these.
Yeah, they're gone. Ain't nobody gonna be waiting around to have their door bust down and have a mob of people looking to drag them out and beat them in the street. They did that to Mussolini and his wife. Went down there and dragged them out, beat them in the street, pretty much.
Yeah, address.
All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 36:6. It says, Lord, God trusted in the staff of this broken reed of Egypt. For if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him.
Right. And if you're trusted in this place, it's going to be involved in awakening, man. A lot of people are trusted in America so much. They believe this American way. They believe in the American system. What they don't believe is the men of the Lord that are on the highways and byways telling them this place is polluted, man. It's going to destroy you. This place is supposed to be going to destroy you, man.
Even the so-called woke people like Dr. Umar, like he knows that the white man's the devil, but he's still trying to talk about building here, building schools and things like that.
I mean, what are you going to teach them? What are you going to build all kinds of black schools,
Right.
black this and black that, but it's only going to be funded for so long, man. What are you going to teach them? What can you possibly teach a young black youth in America today? The minute you go against the grain, you can say, okay, white cops are prejudiced towards black people. Your school's getting shut down.
Right.
Your shit's getting shut down. Right. Yep. You mentioned one thing about the so-called white man and his structure and his system, you out of here, man.
Yep.
When they talk about the black dollars, yet they all got white faces.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 10 verse 20, it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon them that smote them, but stay upon the Lord Yahweh shall and holy of Israel.
Allow staying upon you, how about you, shall. Not trusting these devils. Putting not 1 ounce of confidence in this system, in this man. Not 1 ounce. We got 0 confidence that this devil's gonna be for us when all hell breaks loose, man. He ain't coming to help you. He's not seeking to help you. He's seeking to destroy you with a sword of destruction. Go ahead.
I got Psalms 118, verse 8 and 9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in men. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes.
That's right. So we trust in the Lord all the way around. So we don't give a goddamn what black man takes office or what so-called black man is gonna come and try to, quarrel and settle the people down, man. It don't matter. You ain't coming talking about Yahweh Shai come back to destroy this place. It's about to create havoc. You ain't talking that kind of talk. We don't want nothing to do with you, man. We got nothing in common. We got nothing in common for the ways of this world, man. That's why a lot of people can't get down with what we're telling them. Because our views aren't the same views. Our fight is not your fight. You want to fight the government, you want to fight the system, go right ahead. You're going to lose. Makes you think you're going to just roll over, lay down, and let you take over. That's not going to happen, man. Go ahead.
Proverbs 2 verse 6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thy understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, he shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thy own eyes, fear the Lord is what from thee.
Right. The key thing out of that is the Lord's going to direct your path, man. He's going to direct your path. So fear not and worry not when the time of trouble is at hand, man. The Lord's going to put the spirit on you to move a certain way, do a certain thing, to put yourself in a certain position. We ain't worried about anything. If we get apprehended, the Lord said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what you shall speak. Because the Lord's going to give you a mouth to speak in that time and that hour.
Yep.
So we ain't worried about any of these things that are going on. But we're blessed because we now see And the times and things that we're now seeing are very, very exciting, man. This is exciting. Hearing these power plants leaking shit, water getting all contaminated, the food stores and the truckers are gonna be shutting down pretty soon. This is very exciting times right now. You know, 15 years ago when we was reading it and speaking it, we still had the spirit for it, but we have it more. It's burning more so now because we're getting closer, man. We're getting closer and closer. Go ahead.
Matthew 13 and 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see,
Right.
and your ears, for they hear.
Right.
For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them.
That's right. You know, we're blessed because now we see these things, we understand these things, as opposed to the prophets of old, which we wrote these things down and didn't understand them. Man. Meditated on them, we thought about them, but it just wasn't at the appropriate time for us to receive it. Right. Now the books are open, right? Now the things are revealed unto us. We know that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
This is one of the most important ingredients to this whole recipe that the Lord has set up. Knowing that the so-called white man is this man known as Esau Edom in the Bible, right? So be ready and be prepared. Revelation 12 and 12.
Revelation 12 and 12.
I got you. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice in heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Yep.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know him and he have a short time.
How important is that to know? How important is it to know who the devil is? If you don't know who the devil is, you can't understand who's going to come down upon you. Man.
Right.
So it's important that you know who the devil is. Who is the devil? Who is the deceiver of the whole world? Who's the master manipulator? Esau Edom, man. Esau Edom is that man. He's the man. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place, and in the next cities, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Who's going to do that? Moab going to come over here and do it? The Chinese man's going to come over here and do it?
Nope.
Who's going to do it? The Hamite, he's going to come over here and do it. He's going to start making an insurrection against the men of the Lord.
The spear.
Esau Edom going to do it, man. Esau going to do that, man. Read that again.
For there shall be in every place, and in the next cities, great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
You see that? There's going to be great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. This is another thing. A lot of people don't want to put their necks out on the line for the Lord because they don't want that smoke that's coming, man. Yeah. There's some heavy times coming, man. You're going to have people denying the Lord. You're going to have people denying that they were Israelite. A lot of men, they want to play it safe. Talking about we accept all denominations. We all can be Israel. No, man, no. And the funny thing is, these devils know who you are, man. Regardless of what you believe and what you say, they know exactly who you are. Just by means of where you live, where your families have lived throughout the years. They know where they've been with you. Niggas who moved up into the hills, moved on up, as they say. You don't think you're gonna be the first one to get got? Of course. They're gonna roll right up in there and get you on out of there, man. Being in these prestigious neighborhoods.
Hey,
It says, for they shall be like madmen, sparing none,
Yep.
but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
See that? They should be like madmen, sparing none. So it doesn't matter if you're out here on the highways and byways. Preaching the word. It would have been better for you to be out here on the highways and byways preaching the word. Therefore, you know at least you have an arm of protection that's going to help you. Than to be out there in the world talking shit, having no protection. Because it doesn't matter if you're here or not, they're still going to come after you. Just because who you identify as. And that's why a lot of you other tribes, you got that complexion, you got the complexion for the protection, if you will. You know, you may be light skinned or whatever, you don't identify as an Israelite. But you don't think these devils don't know who you are? And then when they come down on you, go like, why are you doing this to us? We have done nothing. We've done nothing to you. And they may at that point let you know, because you're an Israelite, that's why.
Exactly.
Huh?
He's not gonna be able to
Elder
speak
man, you
about
always have that saying when the rubber meets the road.
That's right.
Especially with the MOTB, because it says they should for they shall waste and take away their goods
Yep.
and cast them out of their houses. Then shall be known who are my chosen,
Yep.
and they shall be tried as gold in the fire.
Yep.
And to read on, it says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, save the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand,
That's right.
but I will deliver you from the same.
That's right.
Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Lord is your God, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, save the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves."
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. You know, for all of you out there who truly believe in this thing of ours, man, stand fast, hold fast, man, and wait upon the Lord. He's not gonna let us down, man. He's not gonna let us down. You may catch flack because you tell your family members, you're Israelite. You know that your nationality is Hebrew Israelite. Your family may catch all kinds of flack, but don't worry about your family, man. Worry about what the Lord is going to do when He comes back to destroy people, man. You don't want to be a part of that destruction. You don't want to die with Esau either. Any other two-thirds that are going to put the death over here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. Proverbs 23, 17 and 18.
Hold on. And he also said, this devil's going to take you from your house, man. Rip you out of your house. There's going to be a certain level of communication amongst these devils. They're going to tell themselves, yeah, all right, here's the move.
Yep.
Because there was a dude that I know who was in the army a while back, and he had gave me information, but he had told me, like, they have briefings, man. These briefings, some of the shit that they telling them in the briefings, like, yo, this is America, dude, like, this is America,
Right.
But they're all under orders, man. It don't matter where they are. Once you sign your name on that dotted line, you are to follow orders, and that's it. They ain't gonna sit there and debate with you and have a conference with you and bring you to the fucking general's office and you tell the general, hey general, I don't think we should do that. No. There's none of that democracy shit.
Right.
You are a soldier, you are taking orders, and if your order is to go in the neighborhood and on a Humvee with a 50 cal and wipe out everybody that got a red X on their sidewalk or a red dot on their door, you wipe any and everybody out, that's what you're gonna do, man.
And that's why they got the foreign troops over here, because they don't got no ties to nobody here.
I've been troops in there for a long time.
Yep.
Training, getting the lay of the land, if you will. Certain locations, certain neighborhoods, certain places where Jake dwells, man. They gonna run up in there and just put you to death and not think twice about it, man.
Right.
Put you to death and go through your pockets a little bit, look you, see what you got around, and kick you over to the side, man.
Yep.
Be ready. Go ahead.
Proverbs 23.
What's up about the video? Because what is it in their creed? It's foreign and domestic.
Yep.
So if they say foreign and domestic, that means what? That there's gonna be troops gonna have to stay here to handle this shit at home, man.
Yep. Proverbs 23 and 17
Good.
and 18. It said, "Let not your heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. For surely there is an end, and your expectation shall not be cut off."
That's right. Surely there is an end. There's an end to all things. There's gonna be an end to Esau Edom. There's gonna be an end to all suffering.
Yep.
And Babylon the Great will deal with this bullshit on a weekly basis. There's gonna be an end of Esau, thinking he is the Most High. Go ahead.
Scripture says better is the end of the day.
In the beginning.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So we're patiently waiting on the Lord, man. We ain't trying to, tell the hey brothers, all right, we're gonna get together next week. We're gonna go and jump up and bust down the state house door, go in there and ask for our reparations, and ask for our 40 acre and a mule.
Right.
It ain't going down like that, man. Let the state house be right where it is, because the time is gonna come when the Lord's gonna send the hooligans out there to do all that dirty work, man. When we as men of the Lord, we're gonna be safe and secure, Lord willing, man. And out of harm's way. The Lord ain't gonna put us in the middle of all that bullshit. You can best believe this quad right here, we're standing right here. This place gonna be filled with people at one point, man. When all the uprisings start going down, let a nigga get killed. Let someone get killed in a fashion where it's distasteful to the people. First they're gonna do is gonna come right here to the state house. We demand answers. we want this and we want that. And all the people, the camera's gonna come, and what? More people gonna flock down here, and then Esau's gonna open up.
Yep.
The military's gonna open up. Yep, that's what's gonna happen.
Towards the end, they have a lot of people running into that field and they're getting gunned down.
Going down, yeah.
Yep.
Well, like we say, they put this shit in these movies for a reason. And if you ain't smart enough to read between the lines, there was this video I saw. Jake was in the store, yelling at this Mexican chick behind the counter. He's going berserk. You know how to speak English, bitch. Give my money, bitch. Give my. He going berserk, right? And there was this other Mexican dude off to the side saying, "Hey, brother, calm down.
Oh yeah.
Calm down, calm down." I was like, "No, fuck you. You know how to speak English." And the dude was like, "No, just calm down." He goes, "You wanna go outside?" Mexican cat was like, "You wanna go outside?"
Yeah,
He was like, "Yeah, let's go out here. Let's go out here."
Oh man.
This car went out there, turn around, pow, pow. Nigga ran like a little bitch right back in the store. Where's all that talk at?
Yeah.
Where's all that TikTok shit?
man.
Out the window.
Yep.
Because the nigga brought the equalizer out, right? And you can see, there's a car in the store up and down the aisles like this. Look for the nigga. The nigga back there, he shot me. He shot. But again, you know, you underestimate somebody, man, and you just never know. You just never know, man. You just never know.
I say.
Cat back there reaching for, brother.
Grabbing the sword, man.
All right, let's run it.
Revelation 2 verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Right, fear none of those things which y'all suffer. We're going to suffer some things, man. You know, and we don't know what the Lord has in store for any of us. But we hope and pray that whatever chastisement He gives us, we can bear it. We're gonna be tested, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through the fire, man. Go ahead.
It says Revelation 2 verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you in prison, that ye may be tried. You shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful to death, and I'll give thee a part of life.
Right, be thou faithful unto death, man. And at this point, the way, and I'm speaking for myself, you know, man, at this point, the way I'm feeling, man, I'm just whatever happens, man. We ain't afraid to die over here. You know, a lot of people are trying to preserve their life just because they don't want to miss out on living here in Babylon. Serving the Lord, man. What the Lord's will be. You know? If we can put the devil on this side, may y'all watch y'all shine right this up at the front. You know? We're gonna keep on pushing. So be faithful unto death, man. Who knows? Right when them devils about to take you out, the Lord may deliver you.
Right.
You know? Right when you think it's over, man. Pray to the Lord, He might deliver you right out the hand of the devils, man. That's why I said, be thou faithful unto death. Go ahead.
Matthew 10 verse 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it.
That's right. He that findeth his life shall lose it. See? Go ahead.
And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
Right, when we're coming to the truth, you lose all this shit, man. You lose everything. You're not that popular guy no more. You know, you ain't that handsome dude that used to attract all the ladies. You grow your beard out, you know, you look at movies differently, you know. You ain't that high valued male anymore. You coming to the truth, right? You know? But again, we have found our light because we found the truth. We thank y'all Shai for bringing us back to the fold, man. You know, as those lost sheep that were running about, running amok, now we've been brought back into the stable. Right? And now we see clearly, we seek safety and security through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, man. That's what we hope and pray for.
Yeah.
The Lord keeps on protecting us in these last days. Go ahead.
I'm going to go to the comment board.
Come.
I'm a couple. This is Exodus 14:14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
That's right. That's right. We say that, man. We wait on the Lord, man. We ain't gonna be doing much talking in that time. When the Lord starts doing this thing, we ain't gonna be doing much talking. Shit, we may not be like, yo, we told you so.
Right.
Because shit's gonna be so goddamn crazy and hectic. We might as well be like, yo, that's the truth. That's the Lord right there. I ain't speaking on that. The Lord's gonna do His thing. Right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation 3:10 from the comment board. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Right. When that time comes, man, a lot of people are going to take that thing because they're going to be faced with what? A situation where they have no choice. Yeah. Because they're going to want to feed their children. They're going to want to preserve their jobs. same thing that happened with this whole C-19. When the C-19 came out, it was putting the schools to everybody. You ain't gonna be able to work here no more. You ain't with this. You ain't got no mask on. You ain't coming to the establishment. And people said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it because I gotta go to work. I gotta get the food. I gotta put the money on the table, the food on the table." Yeah. Okay. So when they come out with the MOTB, man, the Lord said He's gonna keep us from the hour of temptation. Praise you, Lord, y'all, that He keeps us from that hour, man, because it's gonna sweep across the whole world. Ain't nobody gonna be exempt from it. Nobody. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 2 and I'm gonna do 10 and read down. Look at the generations of old. And see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abound in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
See that? That's a whole lot there. But a lot of it is beautiful because why? You know, trusting in the Lord is all we got, man. Trusting in the Lord is all we got over here. We can't look. I mean, we can't even save ourselves, man. We can't even save ourselves as much as we love this brotherhood and the brothers throughout the world who are doing this thing in truth and sincerity. We can't save each other. But what we can do is build up one another and keep one another in our prayers and hope that Yahweh Shemel Shai looks at all of us and hears all of our cries and our prayers and saves us and delivers us, man. This is the key things of what's going on around here. Waiting and trusting in Yahweh Shemel Shai. Woe unto them that have lost patience. Many men have lost patience in this thing because things didn't happen fast enough. Going back to okay? There were certain men that did not lose their patience. A lot of men have lost patience during the 2000 reign and just walked out the door and turned their back. They weren't even hot and heavy then. See? So we out here being patient. And who knows, man? We don't know. We don't know the time. We don't know the day. We gotta be patient and wait on the Lord, man. We gotta wait on the Lord. Just like you want somebody to wait for you, you up in the crib, you know, get your shit together, lay down there blowing the horn, but you still gotta get your shit. Like, yo, hold up, man, I'm right out. You want them to wait on you, right? You know, you want them to wait on you. So we waiting on you. We gonna wait upon Yahweh Shemel Shai because it's when it's appointed with his time. And the Lord, the Heavenly Father, wants his time to be done. All right. So where we at? Let me come right here.
Matthew 24 and 45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant whom his Lord have made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he shall come, find him doing so.
That's right. Yep.
Verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and eat and drunken with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and point him in a portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yep. So that's going to happen to a lot of people, man. A lot of people going to think they are holier than thou and do things according to their will. When the Lord's going to point you to that destruction, weeping and gnashing of teeth. See, that's why you got to be very careful when you're handling the word of the Lord. You got to be very careful. The scriptures tell you that. Woe unto he that will do the work of the Lord to seek him. See? The Lord will definitely appoint your lot to the hypocrites to be destroyed, man. So when you come out and you do the work, you gotta be sincere, man. You truly gotta be sincere. You know, not try to mislead people or give people wrong information purposely. You know? You got men out there talking about you don't have to know the name of the Lord. So this cat pulled me aside this morning, right? it's one of the local dudes. He be coming around, you know, kind of give him a little bit, a little bit. But he said to me he was on the train and he was doing the Lord's work. So we came. There was a situation. He came across this dude. He asked the dude if he had the Lord in his heart. And the dude said, "Yeah, I got the Lord in my heart." He said, "I said to the dude, what was the Lord's name?" He said he didn't know. He said, if you don't know the Lord's name, then you don't have the Lord in your heart. Something to that effect. Which kind of rang in my head. I was like, confess that you know the Lord's in your heart. You know, the Lord is your Lord, your personal Lord and Savior, but you don't even know his name. You know? How important it is to know the name of the Lord. Very important. How you gonna call on somebody you don't know his name? You see? That's why this world gotta be destroyed, man. You know, because the teachings of this world is the teachings of death, so to say. Everything that this world has to offer you is nothing but a matter of death.
Yep.
Walking you down the path of destruction. Go ahead.
Hosea 4 verse 1, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there's no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Give me John 13 and 14. Yep. There's no knowledge of the Lord in this land. There's no knowledge whatsoever. See? It's just by the way people view the Bible. You know? There's no reverence toward the Bible, period, man. It's just a book that's written by the so-called white man. A book of fairy tales. A whole bunch of madness. Go ahead.
It's John 13 and 14. It says, if I then, your Lord and Master, have washed their feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We take care of one another. We pray for one another. We watch out for one another. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're all we have, man. We say it all the time, but it stands true. We are all we have. You ain't gonna be able to go out and have a conversation about America being destroyed with anybody outside of this truth, man.
Right.
They're not gonna understand you. You ain't gonna be able to go out and tell a man in the world that, yeah, you're gonna bash your enemy's children against the stones. They're gonna be like, this nigga's crazy. This nigga lost his mind. I'm proud of you. You see? So this is how we also take care of one another, being able to talk to one another, and understand one another, especially when the brother's down in the spirit.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to talk to nobody in the spirit, spiritually, because they're not gonna understand spiritual things, man.
Right. Oh, one thing.
Man, we see the dark things of the spirit.
One thing, elders, like our people, the indoctrination is real. My friend called me Saturday, and I just wanted to test him. I said, so if your brother came to you and he became a transformer, I ain't gonna say the term.
Right.
And I was like, and he said, you know what, bro, I'm this now. And he was like, I mean, if my brother is that, then I have to accept him as that. And I was like, I was just mad because like this is a dude that I grew up with. We did certain things together. You know, we was in the streets together, all that. And I'm just like, huh? I was expecting him to be like, hell no, I'll accept him as that. You know what I'm saying? But he was just like, I mean, because there's a difference between gender and sex. See, sex is, I was just like, yeah. So that's when I realized, like, our people is just gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Even that conversation, like, you can't even.
yeah, he's like,
You're like, yeah, all right, man, whatever.
yeah.
All right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ended up having to hang up, and I was like, I ain't gonna lie, like, of course, he's in Ohio, of course, but it's like, I grew up with the dude. I've known him since 8 years old. He called me sometimes. For me to even hung up on him, that actually hurt my heart a little bit, because but I was like, I can't do that, man. It's like he going too far with it now.
You know, like,
He's went too far.
You guys aren't going to agree on anything concerning this Bible. You know, he's not going to believe in the Bible.
Yep.
You know, so that's that. You ain't going to be able to fellowship with a nigga in the world no more.
Yep.
I mean, if you're going to come down and say, hey, what's going on, man? Yo, how's your mom? Everybody's good. Everybody's good. You know, that's pretty much the extent.
Yep.
of it.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yep.
You're going to sit there and be like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro? Yeah, this so-called white man, he's always fucking poisoning all the food. This devil's like, go, man. You know, like crazy. You know, I'm like, yo, what you talking about, man? You know, meanwhile, you eating a hot dog, talking about, what you talking about, man? You know? But again, this brotherhood and this thing of ours is only meant for us. It ain't meant for everybody in the world. And there's even men that have been a part of this thing that have left this thing, and it wasn't meant for them.
Yeah.
You know, they've returned back into the world. They went back to the worldly things. You know, and forsook the Bible and forsook the Lord. You didn't forsake the men that you was with. You forsook the Lord, man.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem. People don't realize. You know, it's not about us. You know, we still going to be subjected to hell on earth. We're going to be subjected to ridicule and all kinds of, you know, shit talk. But you didn't turn on us. You turned on the Lord. And that's the big mistake right there. Go ahead.
I got Psalms 133. That's perfect. It's on how, behold how good and how blessed it is for brethren to go together pleading.
Yep.
Right. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that run down the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirt of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountain of Zion. For there the Lord Yahweh Shemashai committed the blessing, even life forevermore.
That's right. See that? So we dwell together in brotherhood, man. So realize, man, the love we have for one another. And it's beautiful because we don't get to see one another on a daily basis. We come down, I see brothers, be like, yo, that's my man right there, you know? But that's the spirit, you know? And now that the Lord has brought this particular camp together the way he brought us together, every single one of us were together back in the ancient times. That's what I believe in the spirit. Because the connections that we have, even when this brother came, he came down from Ohio. You know? And this brother was out of control when he first came here. And the Lord settled that brother's spirit down. Now the brother's, you know, was balanced out. But again, we was always together at some point in time, man. Throughout the ancient times. You know, it's a beautiful thing. We met some of the head apostles and elders and bishops out in New York. When we got around them brothers, it was like a reunion, man. It was it was like, oh, what's going on, Shabbat, brother? You know? And that just goes to show the testament of the Lord, how when he brought us back together, back to the fold, back to the stable, we all once knew this anyway. You know? And there it is, man. There it is. We've all been here before. We've all met each other before. We ain't strangers, brothers.
Back to remembrance.
That's it. We're brought back to remembrance. We ain't strangers amongst one another. You know? And then when the names, brothers' names, you know, when brothers get your Hebrew name, it is so fitting. It is so fitting, man. It's like, man, that brother's that brother's that. It's fitting, man. You know? And that's a blessing in itself, man. This brother Yakalum, he behind the camera, you know. That brother Zion named that brother, right?
Khan.
Yeah. And that's that brother Yakalum, what, dreamer, dreams, you know. And that's exactly what this brother be doing, man. This brother be having all types of dreams, man. Got his journal going, and you know, he'll put up his videos every now and then with the dreams. Right. Hey, brother, get another brother, the boss said, he said, reckless. You know, but again, you know, it's all for the spirit. It's all for the spirit of God, boss, we help shop. Names, moment number, name prediction. Anybody got anything else? See you over here. See you over there typing away over here. Good. We're going to end it on this one here, brothers.
Ecclesiastes 2 verse 15. That which had been is now, and that which is to be had already been. And the Most High required that which is past.
Right, the Most High required that which is past. So the past is very important. You may hear people talk about or say, oh, you guys are telling the past. You guys are that happened. How many years ago did it happen?
Right.
But the scripture says the Most High required that which is past. These things are important, man. The past is going to understand. We're going to understand the present by what was written aforetime. We understand that the Lord said we're going to be raised up and be out there on the highways and byways doing our thing, man. And here we are. We did it in the ancient times. Is that Jeremiah? Yep. We did it in the ancient times. We're doing it this time. I like to say, you know, we did it in the ancient times, meaning what? We was back there walking with Yahweh Shai, you know, and going back even further to the first fruits, creating the heavens and the earth, man. Creating the heavens and the earth. You have ears to hear, let them hear. You know, we ain't boasting and bragging about it. We're We're servants in this kingdom, right? We're servants in this kingdom. You know, the servant is not accepted in his own time. So therefore, when we come out on the highways and byways, we're not looking to be accepted by anybody out here. We're not looking for anybody to raise us up and praise us and give us, oh, great job. No, we ain't looking for any of that. We want to please Yahweh Shai. It's fucking freezing out here right now. And the only heirs we're looking to please are Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And the brothers and sisters who listen, receive it, all praises due to Yahweh Shai.
Khan.
Giving you the ability to understand and hear these words that we speak, man.
That's right.
Because it's not our words that we're speaking, it's the Lord's words. See? Anybody else got anything else? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
mentioned about the first fruits, the creation of the earth. Those same people come back into the elect. They care for the earth, so that's why they signed a contract to the abomination of judgment.
That's exactly right, brother. That's it. You know, we look around. You know, sometimes you see the fucking animals. They're suffering. Fucking trees are withered down to nothing. The earth, there's supposed to be a land Sabbath. The earth, the soil is goddamn obliterated. The soil's so fucked up, you can't even grow shit in the soil no more, man. Esau got to put all kinds of chemicals and all kinds of shit in the ground, you know. But the Lord's gonna restore all these things, man. The Lord's gonna restore all of us back to our natural, state, if you will. Being strong men, being mighty men. You know?
One quick comment.
Go ahead.
You know the Revelation 12 and 12?
Come.
Like, simultaneously it's saying, rejoice you heavens, the devil coming down you with great wrath, showing you that after this trouble, the world will go back to paradise.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Our children are gonna be, our children will be out there playing with wild beasts of the field, like a ball of yarn, just batting them around and doing whatever. But this is what it's all gonna be. But we still got a battle before us.
Yep.
We still got hell to go through. So we ain't gonna sit here and talk about the plenteous that the Lord has set aside for us, because we're gonna be sidetracked.
Yep.
Let it be known that we are right on the cusp of the time of Jacob's trouble. And that time of Jacob's trouble is not gonna be no joke, man. Can we say so that we know for a certain? Yes, we can say because the Lord said it, man. But we believe the word of the Lord. We trust in the word of the Lord. We have faith in the word of the Lord. And all that being said, that makes us men of the Lord. That's something. Go ahead, bust it down, brother.
Acts 14, verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
That's perfect. Much tribulation. So this ain't gonna be no walk in the park, man. We ain't gonna just, Lord's gonna come here and throw down the missiles and we gonna be like, just, hey, we fighting for this thing, man.
Yep.
We gotta fight, man. Through much tribulation. However that tribulation is gonna come, man. We hope and pray that the Lord just protects us in all types of whatever tribulation He has set forth for us. Alright? You got something over there on the right, brother?
No.
Okay, you good? Yes, sir. Good? Alright, come. So we're gonna wrap it up there, got a couple hours in. Brother's home is freezing out this bad boy. So with all that, we're gonna give all praises to
Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash.
Sincerely and faithfully and continually fight the good fight of faith. Lord willing, again, hope we find that number to be delivered. To see the downfall of our enemies. Rejoice at the fall of all those who fall against us. With that we want to say, come Yeshua!
Come Yeshua! Come Yeshua! Come Yeshua! Above, above! Above, above! Above, above! Shalom!